So we talked about toxic men siphoning the energy off of women, using women to manifest a better life, destiny swapping, draining women, copying women, so on and so forth. But this gentleman asks a really great question. He wants to know if women can do the same. Yes, toxic women can siphon off of the energy of very rare, high quality men. And these are the men who have a great, strong auric field. These are men who present to be very masculine. However, they operate very courteous. They're very generous. They're usually very traditional in nature in terms of their moral compass. They're very mindful of the way they handle people. And usually they are displaying some level of intentional kindness. Those men are the type of men that will probably take the shirt off their back and give it to anybody just so that others are not in need or without. A lot of times toxic women will get with these men, and from the beginning they will see that these men are very generous and very kind. Now these women who are toxic will see that as a lick. This person is someone that they're going to shake down, break down, and conquer. And so a lot of times they will just kind of observe from the beginning how you handle people, how you operate when you guys are in public settings. She will be watching all of that. So a lot of times these women lead with seduction. If they have conventionally good looks, they will lead with that. They will lead with their feminine charm. A lot of times, these women try to do everything to seduce you to hurry up and go to the bedroom. The reason why they want to go to the bedroom is so that they can put that succubus energy on you, so that they can create a soul tie with you and get you to come into agreement with things you may not know anything about. And so, while you are having these intimate moments with these women, a lot of these toxic women are doing incantations, they're setting intentions and everything. And the way that they do it is very casual and it's very subtle. They will just be asking you questions, whose is it? They will be asking you questions for you to come into agreement with them. But you'll never really pick up on it because lust, you're so engulfed in the lust and in the moment, you have no idea that you're coming into agreement with a soul tie. And you'll be saying their name. You're coming into agreement to being a possession of this individual. It is a spiritual conquer. Everything will start off fine in the beginning, but as time progresses on, you will notice that this woman will start to do things to emasculate you. A lot of these narcissistic women, they only listen to your vulnerable moments as an opportunity to see if they can re-wound you in those areas, because some people are hurt so deeply down to a soul level that even though it appears that you have moved on and that you've healed, it is nothing for people to re-trigger you again. And that is what they will do as the relationship proceeds. But first they have to start gauging you and testing you by doing little subtle things. What that will look like is, if let's say your friends, like a group of guys, come over and she's acting like she's hosting you guys, bringing foods or drinks or things of that nature, she would just sit around. She'll sit around, okay? And she's wearing something kind of revealing and she doesn't go change, then 9 times out of 10, that is a test. You might say, hey, baby, hey, put some clothes on. My friends are here. Like, I'm comfortable in my own house. Why I got to do that for? They seen a woman before, things of that nature, challenging you in your home with your friends there. And this woman will act like she's hosting and she's bringing y'all food and drinks. And the whole time she just want to be seen. You may not pick up on it, but your friends will probably pick up on it, because a woman with good intentions usually greet a man's friends and then she'll ask, hey, you guys want something to drink or something, and everybody say yes or no, and then she'll say, well, it's nice seeing y'all, everybody good, your mom good, the kids good, your wife good, and then they'll go on about their business, whether they go in another room, or a lot of times we'll just say, babe, I'll be back, I'm gonna go get my nails done, or I'm gonna go take a store run or whatever, and just to get out of the vicinity, out of respect for our husbands or our boyfriends when they're in company with other men. And if that woman does not do that, 9 times out of 10, she's looking for attention. If y'all are watching a game or something and she's just sitting there and she's the only woman there, what are you sitting there for? A lot of times this woman will start testing you by laughing a little bit too hard at one of your friends' jokes, your brother's joke, your uncle's jokes, or what have you. And it's an indirect way to flirt in front of you. And that is a direct violation. Another thing that you will notice is she will try to embarrass you in front of company, her family, and things like that. She will group up against you. You'll do something to try to hold her accountable, and the first thing she does, she's hopping on the phone with her mom, she's hopping on the phone with her sisters or whoever, but she's trying to outnumber you. She'll get other people involved when it comes to you guys' affairs as a way to emasculate you and as a way to subtly emotionally abuse you and bully you. But she's not physically hitting you, so you don't think anything of it. And then lastly, just to give you another example, if you have children, a lot of times these women will compete with your children. Why? They want to siphon all of your finances and they want to control the dynamics between you and the things that you deem to be sacred. A man's relationships with his children is a very sacred thing. And so these women will anchor themselves in your life, pretend to be a good stepmother or pretend to be a good mother figure at first, but after a while, you'll notice they'll try to isolate you from your child, or they will make very horrible suggestions in terms of like just parenting and things of that nature. But mostly she wants most of the finances to go to her. So she would just basically encourage you to do the bare minimum, or she will try to instigate issues between you and the children's mother so that she can just try to have some type of level of control in your relationships as it relates to your life in other areas. But usually after a while, you will notice that the woman that presented herself to be a plus one in addition to your life in the beginning ends up being a subtraction and dividing you from all of the things that God has for you in your life. So just here's some examples.